everyone, and welcome to Real Talk via the Dental Chair. I am Ima Steffi, and I am so excited you're here with me today. This is the first episode of the new chapter of the podcast, and I thought that what a better way to start than by telling you a little bit about myself. For those of you who don't know me, I have been a dental hygienist, a registered dental hygienist for 20 years. Yep, that is 2 decades of telling people to floss and watching them not politely, only to find out at their next cleaning that they didn't do it. But, um, we're all human, right? We all do it at one point. This podcast is a project that is really close to my heart. It's not just about dentistry, it's about real people, real conversations, and real questions. I want to keep things honest, down to earth, and maybe even a little funny along the way. So today we'll be sharing who I am and what I do when I'm not in scrubs and what can you expect from future episodes. So let's start with the basics. Like I said, I have been a hygienist for 20 years. When I first chose this profession, I wanted a career because I wanted to help people. I always wanted to help people. And honestly, I thought that what a better way to do it than just interact with them in the dental chair. As a child and growing up, I had really bad experiences with dentists in general. You know, I remember when I was a kid, I my mom took me to the dentist because I was a little crowded, and I think I was probably around 7, maybe 8 years old. And the dentist at that time, and remember, they didn't have the knowledge then that as they do now, but they actually told my mom that I have extra teeth. So they end up pulling one tooth that really should have been left alone because as I grew up and became a dental hygienist, I realized that that was not an extra tooth. I was just crowded and it grew behind. So he pulled it. He pulled a permanent tooth to a child. And therefore, when I have braces and everything, I was missing that tooth. So my bite is not perfect even after braces. But what can you do? It is what it is. But what I'm saying is like I did have some weird experiences as a child, and I did want to make a difference for my patients. So somehow I want to prevent my patients for going through what I went through. And that was my main motivation. I remember when I was in college deciding which career do I want to follow, they actually accepted me for physician assistant. So that same summer, I applied to both schools, to dental hygiene and physician assistant, because I just want to know which career I will have. And because I could not make up my mind, I decided whichever doesn't accept me, I just take the other profession. Unfortunately, they both accepted me. So then I was with the decision again, what do I want to do? And I decided to become a dental hygienist because, like I said, I did wanted to help people. And also because of the schedule, right? When you are a physician assistant, especially back then, you spend most of your rotations in the hospital and usually in emergency, long hours. And I'm going to tell you what, I do not envy nurses and people that does those amazing jobs by being in the hospital, but I just did not want to be that person. So dentistry was something that it was natural for me because I already liked it. I wanted to help people. And I also had a little bit of experience as a dental assistant. So I wasn't totally foreigner. Then I went to school and became a hygienist. I tell you what, I could not be happier. I had a really great career. It was 20 years. I feel that hygienists are so much more that people know. We are highly educated. We go through college. We learn courses like anatomy, physiology, and things that really dentists and doctors study as well, right? We are therapists, we're educators, and Sometimes we're even comedians because believe me, you have to develop a sense of humor when your job involves people laying down with their mouth open and suction noises going on in the background, right? Over the years, I have met so many different kinds of patients, and many of them have really, really gained my heart. After I have seen them for many years, they became part of my family. And they really, that's what it is. They are part of your family. When something happy happened to them, then I am happy for them. And when they're funny, we laugh together. When they're sad, but sometimes I have shed a tear with them, you know. And is something will happen like they passed away. I feel that, you know, it's really hard to disconnect. And of course, people at work, they are amazing. We spend so much time with them and they've really become our dental family. One of the things that I realized is that to be a hygienist, I needed to be patient and compassionate because not everybody comes with the same story. Say, for example, I have bad experiences with dentists and I decide to go towards dentistry so I can help people. But there's other people that actually have bad experiences and they run away from it, right? Because they're scared, they're concerned that something is going to happen to them. And then that leads to people don't come in as often to the dental office, which also increased the risk for something bad really happening. But anyway, I had all kinds of patients, the ones that they're scared, the ones that they're so relaxed that they will actually fall asleep on my chair, which I find that was amazing. I really, really loved that they did that. I remember actually one time that one of my patients was actually that he fell asleep and he was snoring. And I was working with water and suctioning and stuff. And he was actually making bubbles, like gargling with the water. I thought it was just so funny. And he would not wake up. It makes me feel good too because he trusted me so much. But I also thought he must be really, really tired to fall asleep here. So if you ever wonder why the hygienists just try to, when you try to talk to them, we kind of like nod and try not to make like big conversations, is because, well, first of all, sometimes when you're trying to talk and your hands are in your mouth, we don't understand what you're saying, even though with time, we do learn to know what you're saying. And also because we have sharp instruments in your mouth, right? So we really don't want to make any movements that it can in any way jeopardize you getting a cut. That's never fun. So we do. Well, it's been so long. It's been 20 years, guys. 20 amazing years. I do not regret any of it. I remember my very first day working as a hygienist, and I was so nervous and so concerned about my timing because when you're in a school, you have 3 hours per patient. But when you are in real life is an hour, sometimes 45 minutes, 50 minutes, it depends. But the truth is that they would give me a little bit more time because they knew that I just graduated. So they were a little lenient with me. Fortunately for me, I landed in a very, very amazing office and I stayed there for 17 years, guys. 17. And the only reason that I moved away from them, it was because I actually moved with 3 hours away. So 3.5 and sometimes 4 with traffic. So it was physically impossible to do that. But I did miss them. I still miss them. I love them so much. They were my family for so long. And I have learned so much from them. Everything that I know, I owe them, every single thing. And I feel that anyway, I'm kind of getting out of track here, but I was just so nervous on my first day for so many reasons, right? Because of my timing and what people are going to think about me. Because also when you are a new hygienist, you are a little bit more sensitive to what people say. One of the things that I hear a lot now is people saying, well, they get hurt or they take personally as something that the patient might say. That is something that I have never done, Well, wait a minute. I did. I did once, the first time. It's not like I took it personally. Is that it kind of hurt my feelings, and it hurt my feelings because I thought I might have done something wrong, right? I remember this patient that she told me that I was hurting her, and I don't know how, because she was squeaky clean. She had nothing for me, but she got up and left. Guys, she left. To me, I was thinking, my God, what did I do to this woman for her to get up and leave like that? Did I really hurt her? I hardly even touched her. So I heard later that this was not the first time. She was a difficult patient, which we do have. But you have to be patient with all of them, and you have to love them all, right? You might not like what they do at that time, but you never know what everybody brings to the office. So one of the things that I really try to do is never take anything personal. And I don't know, it's just so many things happen. Oh my gosh, I remember one time that I actually dropped the suction tip right in the floor mid appointment, actually towards the end. So as I scrambled to grab one, pretending that nothing happened, the patient, it was an old lady, she looked at me and she said, "Don't worry, honey, I have been coming to the dentist for the past 40 years and I have seen it all." And that moment, it made me realize that patients don't expect perfection. They just want honesty and care. And I was willing to give it to them. That is, that was, so that is what I have been trying to bring from day one. If anything that I want my patient to live with is to know that I did my best and that I did care about them. Some of my patients were elderly, and I knew that they only came to see me just because they wanted to talk to somebody, and that was okay with me. I was willing to be that person that would be there to listen to them, because many of them had, like, their kids were away or they were not, involved in their lives. So I knew that they felt lonely, and the best time for them uh, to socialize with somebody, it was actually in the dental office. I I always try to be patient with my patients and give them the time. And to these patients, I actually would give them a little bit of extra time, because I knew right out that they wanted to talk to me. And they always tell me stories about their kids or their late husbands or their late wives. And it's just very dear to me. So that we were so close with patients. Now, dentistry is a huge part of my life, but it's not the only part. When I'm not in the scrubs, I'm actually running my own business. It was a few years ago, I invented and launched a product called Aligner App, which is a tool that helps people remove their Invisalign or clear aligners easily and hygienically. I created it because I saw my patients struggling with it, and also because I wanted something for them that it was more hygienic. So mine is actually a retractable, reusable. It is a great tool. You should try sometime. But anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about. And the thing is that that's what I do too. My idea turned into a product, which turned into a business. And here I am. And let me tell you that running a business is a whole different adventure. Every day I spend so much time in between looking at the inventory, doing shipping, like social media. And oh my gosh, I spend so much time in this business. It's unlimited, the amount of hours that I put in a day. Like
Today, for example, is evening here. It's almost 10 o'clock, and I am still working, and it's the weekend. So it happens, when it's your business, when it's your baby, you really wanted to do the best you can and give it a chance, right? So my days off, which are many now. Right now, I only temp sometimes. I don't do hygiene full time like I used to anymore. But my days off are usually packing orders, answering emails, creating content, and yes, spending way, way too much time in TikTok. I am a TikToker, you guys. So if you're ever around, please check me out. My name on TikTok is Dental Insider, and I will leave it below so you can check out my content. It's a little bit of everything. Some of it is promotional for my business, some of it is educational. And sometimes I just feel silly and I wanted to do something different and funny. So it depends how I feel that day. Speaking of TikTok, that is becoming another outlet for me. I share tips, dental myths, funny behind the scenes moments, and sometimes just little slices of my life. And honestly, the bloopers are the best part. There was one time I thought I had hit stop on my recording, but I hadn't. And the video kept me playing with my aligner tool, like if it was a pen, totally unprofessional, but also totally real. These things happen. And there is Mia, my little Maltese puppy. She is the queen of the house and she knows it. I'll be packing up products and she'll be running off with the bubble wrap and popping it. It's just like the cutest thing ever. I guess that humans are not the only ones that find amusing to pop in the bubble wrap. So now you know. If you ever hear barking in the background of this podcast, you know who is responsible, right? It's not me. Tell you that. So, why do I share all of this? Because I want you to know that I am more than just a hygienist. I am a business owner, a content creator, dog mom, and just a regular person and a mom too. So sometimes I do eat popcorn too, even though I might tell you not to do it with braces. I have done it. But I do floss, you guys. But I'm not always I did floss, right? It wasn't until I became a dental hygienist that I started flossing. So I understand that sometimes this is something that is not reinforced at home. It was definitely not reinforced in my household. And I don't know why, because my mom flosses, but she never told me that I had to, which is kind of strange, right? But that's what it is. So I am here behind a microphone, starting this podcast. And the truth is, over 20 years, I have realized that patients don't just need treatment, they need understanding. They want to know why we recommend certain things, but often the message gets lost in translation because we use too much dental jargon, especially when we're talking to other professionals, to the dentist or something, which is something that I really, really tried not to. I really tried to use normal words, like instead of caries, I would say cavities. But, it's part of my professions, and sometimes some words will escape. But anyway, I do like to explain things well to my patients. It is difficult. Like if I say to my patient, you have decay, they might not know what it is. But if I say, well, you have a cavity that is in between your teeth, that makes sense, right? Or if I say you need a scaling and root planning, they might not know what that is. But if I say you do have an infection underneath your gums and we need to remove that infection so your gums will heal, otherwise it will eat up your bone and you will end up loosening and eventually losing your teeth. If I explain it like that, even though it might sound a little scary, but it can be a little scary. It depends in which stage you are. So I always want to be honest with my patients. And it's not in a scare tactic. It's not like I want to scare them. I just wanted them to know what is going on with them so they can make the best decision. I never want to not told them or being so, use words that they don't seem to portray urgency. So they feel like they have all this time when maybe they don't. And so I really, really always want to be upfront from. That's what this podcast is about, breaking down complex dental terms into plain language so you feel empowered, not overwhelmed. Throughout this podcast, you're going to see a lot of people coming through. You are going to see dental professionals and they are going to talk to you about maybe different things that they do in the office, treatments, their staff, funny things, serious things. There's going to be a little bit of everything, right? But we're also going to have patients so they can tell their side of the story. I also would like you and encourage you to please ask questions and I will answer them all. You can leave them in YouTube in the comment area. And like I say, I will get back an answer. Or you can also look me up in social media. And if I am not talking about what you want to hear about, please let me know. If there is any episodes that you would like me to concentrate on, please let me know too, because I am more than happy to do that. I know that our experience as a dental professional is probably so much different that your experience as a patient, for example, because while we are there scaling and thinking, oh my gosh, look at that, I'm going to get that piece of calculus or that piece of tartar and imagine how much better you're going to feel and how healthy you're going to be portraying the goals that I have for you. You might be thinking, why is this water spreading everywhere? And the most common thought is, how long until this is done? When is it going to be over with this, right? I think that you all think that. So both perspectives, the professional and the patients, they both matter. And by talking about them openly, maybe we can bridge that gap and make the dental visits feel a little less intimidating. So now that you know a little bit about me and why I'm here, let me give you a sneak peek of what is coming in the future. We are going to be debunking common dental myths like whether sugar really rots your teeth overnight or if charcoal toothpaste is actually good for you. Well, we'll see. We'll talk about everyday dental concerns in plain English, why gums split, what bad breath actually means, whether you really need to replace your toothbrush every 3 months, and all the things people are too shy to ask in the chair. And also, we'll be bringing guest speakers, dentists, fellow hygienists, even patients to share their stories and perspective. I think it is so important to hear from real people about their experiences, both good and bad. And sometimes we'll just have fun. And I'll share behind the scenes stories from the dental office, funny things patients have to say, and maybe a few embarrassing moments of my own. Actually, yeah, more than a few. My promise to you is that this podcast will always be real, always honest, and hopefully always helpful. That is definitely my goal. The very first episode, I just wanted to say thank you for spending this time with me. Dentistry has been my world for 20 years, but what keeps me passionate are the people, the connection, the conversations, the stories, the relationships. Because I told you what, and this is something that my first boss told me once, and I got it right away, right? He used to say, I am here in my job is to create relationships. And that is the first part of my job. The secondary part is that I am doing dentistry while I am creating relationships. And, that really resonate with me. And that's what I try to do, not only with dentistry, but with everything. Think that is what we do as human beings, right? We're social. I love people. I love good stories. And so most hygienists and more dental professionals are like that. So when you come see us, please give us a chance, give us a chance. Don't just say, I hate dentists or I hate you. Just give us the opportunity to show you who we are because we definitely are real people with real feelings, with real lives, right? And we are here for you. So this podcast is my way to continue that mission, to educate, to answer questions, and to show the human side of dentistry. I am so excited for what is ahead, and I hope you'll stick around for the ride. If you enjoyed today's episode I know that it was a lot talking about me, but it will not always be like this. I promise that. But please subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss what is coming. Share with a friend. I really, really enjoyed informing you of what is going on. Thanks again for giving me the opportunity. Thank you again for joining me today. And until next time, take care of your smile, and I will see you at the Real Talk Beyond the Dental Chair. And remember, Mondays at 6 p.m. Bye bye for now.